All right, good. So who was here around 1 o'clock when I did just a quick run through? All right, a couple people. So we'll go through a little bit more. So what we're going to play with a little bit is the first 5 or so movements of the Shaolin Jing that I learned. It's going to be a little bit more of an intense Qigong. So we're going to be pushing, pulling, stretching things a little bit more than we might for other styles. Don't push anything to the point where it is painful. Nothing should actually hurt, but stretch a little bit, get a little bit uncomfortable with things. This is something that we can start sort of a little bit mid-level relaxed and then turn into a harder movement. It can be used as the foundation for a lot of the hard Qigong in like Shaolin styles. So like the body conditioning, breaking, things like that. We are not going to do that. So we're going to start just feet comfortable, shoulder width apart, nice soft knees, relaxed back. As we're going through all of this, all of the breathing is going to be through our nose, teeth together, tongue on the roof of the mouth, just behind our top teeth. We're going to start. Let's just take a couple of nice, comfortable, deep breaths. Try to breathe all the way down out of just the top little bit of our chest. Good. First movement, one we're going to repeat a lot, kind of as an interim movement, I call read the book. So it's like you're holding the book up in front of you, kind of palms together. What we're going to do is drop the hands. We're going to move opposite as they come up. We're going to sink, bend our knees, fold in, press down, pull ourselves back up to that soft knee. Good. We're going to do this just a couple of times, once or twice, just to get comfortable. We can keep this nice and relaxed through a good range of motion. Or we can go full and stretch and pull. And come down like you're pulling yourself up, tightening through the whole core, abdomen, sides, back. And we can add in a little bit of an isometric movement where we're pulling and squeezing more muscles. Find a spot where it feels kind of comfortable. We'll do one last one. Good. All right. Shake things loose. Feels good. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. So to get into our next movement, which is we're going to have a little bit of a dynamic piece and a little bit of a static bit. So we're going to start the same way. We're going to take that nice deep breath in, little sink down. This time as we get to the top, we're going to clap the hands together. Pull down like we're praying. Let the shoulder blades come apart. Good. We're going to pull in to the shoulders like we're opening. Reach out to the sides. Important here, don't pull back and let the chest come out. We still want to keep a nice soft back, pulling to the sides. Hands are rounded and a little bit hollow, kind of like we're palming a basketball. Once we're sort of comfortable with that relaxed piece, we can start squeezing. So think like something's pulling your finger out. You're using those muscles to pull in, squeezing the core again. Nice deep breaths in through the nose. Keep the lats engaged, pulling that back down, shoulders relaxed. Good. When we're doing this, we hold this for about 25, 30 seconds. Nice deep breaths. Let's do one more. Good. And then soften, relax everything down to that read a book. And nice big circle. Good. Our next one, we're going to do in sets of 3. So we're going to have a little mini squat and we're going to push up. So similar, if you've done like the Batuan Jin, similar to that movement. I think the movement is the same. It's just Batuo holds up the heavens. But we're going to have a bit more of a dynamic set to it. So as we come down, we're going to bend the knees a little bit. And we're going to push up, push onto the toes, breathing out hard through the nose, and then back down. Push. And then between each one, nice breath in as we come down to the heart. Out as we drop. Then in, back up to the shoulders. Fingertips pointing in towards our ears, breathing out and in. And the more you can kind of squeeze and push comfortably, we sort of work ourselves up to that being less of just like a lift, and then all the way down. Good, and one more. And now as we're squeezing and pushing, I always think like I'm lifting something heavy over my head. We're nice and tight and dynamic through here, and then we just soften and relax everything as we come down. Good. We're going to go back to our read the book. Nice breath in. Good. All right, we're going to run those a couple more times. Does anybody have questions? I like questions. I like back and forth. No? Yes.
So whenever we go up, that's to breathe in, and when we come down, that's to exhale.
As a general rule of thumb, anytime we're sort of pushing away, we're going to do that exhale. And anytime we're coming in, we're going to inhale. I'd have to break down each one to make sure, but that's generally going to be our rule of thumb. Or we've got a few of these where we're just static and just breathing deeply and comfortably. But for this one, out as we're pushing, in as we're coming down. Good. All right, cool. Let's do those three again. Then we got two more we're going to play with. So again, comfortable feet. Couple of nice deep breaths in through the nose. Good. Read our book. In. Out. Again, in. There's going to be a clap at the top and out. In, coming back. Out, reach and pull, stretch and engage as much as is comfortable. And soften and relax everything to our read the book. Nice breath in. Good. To our shoulders. Nice breath in as we kind of load up for the lift and out. In. And in, relax. Out. And again, in. Good. And third time. Good. Read our book. We're going to go right into our next one. Good. This one, we're going to take our left hand. I'm just going to do it backwards for now. We're going to reach it behind, back of the hand, reaching to that opposite kidney. Our right arm, we're going to come across, push out, keep the shoulder relaxed. Don't let it pull up and roll on you. Palm away. If you're getting to the point where you're pushing and your fingertips are kind of having to reach, just relax a little bit. Really think about pushing that heel of the palm out, fingertips back. Feel a good stretch from that middle of the finger all the way down and up the arm. Staring at the back of your hand. We're going to hold each one, this one for about 9 seconds. We're going to relax, circle it down, in, and push with the back of the wrist. You can just keep the hands open if you like. I personally tend to pull into more of like a mantis hand shape. Squeeze. Just going to hold this for 3. Then relax down. Push out. Good. In as we drop. Out as we're pushing. And one more set. In as we drop. Out as we push. And then just relaxed breathing through this section. Down. Wrist. Good. And we're going to make a nice big circle as we relax up. Release that left hand. Right goes behind our back. Across and push with the palm. Keeping that shoulder relaxed. Fingertips pulled back. Good. And down. And wrist. Good. Down. And push. And really stretch through the forearm on this one. Should be a little uncomfortable. And then we drop and let this kind of stretch the other side just to loosen things up again. Good. One more. Change. Good. And we're going to relax everything, come back to our read the book. Nice deep breath in. Out. Good. Last one that we're going to do today, my personal favorite, is I grab the oxen. We're going to turn, step out, forward. We want as much of a bow stance as you can kind of be comfortable with, mostly front weighted. We're going to reach out with that right hand for you guys. I'm doing it backwards. Left hand reaching back. As we reach back, turn and open that hip, but don't let that front knee tuck in on you. We're going to grab like you're grabbing a rope. Nice deep breath in. Breathe out. We're going to pull back to our hip, just to our hips. So we want to square the hips forward. Thumbs are kind of right where our belt loops would be. And then nice breath in again as we reach and open. Grab, pull. Good. And again, early on, just focus on that hip movement, that opening and closing, squeezing. Later on, we want to add a little more personal resistance on that. Good. We'll hit that on the other side. As we turn, you can either just turn around or we can add a little bit of circle. So I do a little circle, lift, cover, and reach. Good. Reaching open again, grab, nice breath in, pull. Good. This is where we can start imagining like we've got two heavy loads, usually two ox trying to pull us apart. We're grabbing that rope. We have some resistance. We're pulling, squeezing, tightening through the hips and the groin to pull forward. One more nice breath in, out. Good. From here, we're going to step straight up, feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to keep facing this wall. I'm going to move forward. It's a little easier for you guys to see. Good. We just stepped up. We're going to lift the palms up to the shoulders, kind of like we're at the bottom of a push-up. Nice deep breath in. Breathe out. Push. Just like you're doing that push-up. Let the shoulder blades spread apart. Once you hit the end, make a nice fist down to the waist. Breath in as we come up. Out as we push. Down. Push. Add some nice dynamic tension. Resist yourself a little bit. And one more. Yeah, at the end of this last one, and like we started, we're going to do our clap. We're going to turn forward, same way we started. Read our book. Nice deep breath in. Out. Good. Relax, shake things loose. So that's about the first half of this. We're not going to go into the second one. The second one deals with some more like floor work and some stretching that way. We'll keep this a little bit more accessible for everybody, but we're going to run through that one more time, at least. Any questions on those last couple we did?
So this part of the hands, when they
Yep. So we're coming up just like a push-up. We're going to push. Once we're at the end of our stretch, fists down, pulling up and push. And maybe I'm not going to do it a bunch more. I did set myself a timer, right? So just like that, we're going to come down, in, circle up, and out. Good. Really letting the shoulder blades kind of work back and out as we're pushing, stretching open through there. Good. Good. Last minute questions. Yeah, good. Cool. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Have fun. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's. I'm going to have to run out. Yeah. Well, it was a timer because I don't want to go too long and take everyone else's time as well.
Yeah. Because especially with students, I forgot my watch. So, oh, and especially if students are paying attention, isn't it nice? Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's fun. Yeah. I'm watching. This got a lot of fun.
Can everyone hear me okay? All right. Well, I am happy to be here with you since we're already in place. The next movement that we're going to do is we are going to open up and expand that chest. We talked, if anybody was here yesterday, we talked about the seasons and us right now moving or transitioning into that lung and large intestine time. So we're going to do a movement from the 8 silk weaving exercises of the Badwa Jing, and it's going to be called pull the bow. So I'm going to demonstrate it for you so you can see what's happening in the front, but it gets a little wonky if we do opposites, okay? So it will trust yourselves, okay? It may feel a little funny. How many of you have done Tai Chi before? Okay, perfect. Well, then you might be in alignment. How many of you are familiar with the movement that we're getting ready to do? A little bit? Okay. So what it's going to look like is feet are going to be together. So just watch, don't move, just watch. Your brains will pick it up. It'll be a little bit easier for you to incorporate the movement. So from here, we're going to sit on one leg. We're going to step and touch with that toe. So we're going to sense and feel for that floor. Then we're going to shift our weight 50-50. From here, this hand is going to come up across the body. We're going to grab. And then just like you're pulling a bow, we're going to pull. And then this hand is going to push here. And so we're going to be in this nice, beautiful posture here and really working to expand that chest. And then we're going to bring everything to the center and then pull everything in. I'll explain the breathing. I want you to just kind of get the movement first. So the other side, just so you can see what that looks like, we're going to sit, step. We're going to reach for that with that big toe. Then we're shifting our weight. I want you to pay attention to that weight distribution so that we then feel 50-50. Hand is going to come up across the body. And as you notice, my waist is what makes this movement happen. So I'm going to rotate here, grab, push and pull. Everything comes back to the front. And then we pull everything in together. So we're going to do it together. I'm going to turn and face this way, but I know that you all will move with me. So we're going to move to our right side first. So feet will come together. We're going to just do our checkpoints because we're changing our body posture, but we want to make sure our head feels light as if it's suspended from a string. Shoulders are relaxed. Cheeks are relaxed. Knees are slightly bent. Nice upright posture. And we want everybody kind of shake it out for me, just so to make sure you're not too loose. Okay, so we're gonna give a slight bend to the knee. We're gonna step out with that right foot touch and then shift our weight into that 50-50. Perfect. Left hand is gonna come up across the body. We're gonna grab and then pull our bow. So, excuse me, left hand pulls, right hand pushes. Perfect, good. And then rotate, hips rotate and bring everything back to the center. And then we bring it all in. Perfect. Let's try it to the opposite side. So now we're going left side. Right hand is going to slide right down that leg. We're going to reach and touch with the left foot. Right hand is going to come up across the body. We're going to grab and then push and pull. Perfect. And then we're going to bring it back to the front. And then everything is going to come in together. Perfect. I'm going to turn towards you just so you can also see. Okay, so we're going back to your right side. We're going to sit and then we're going to step out to that right. Left hand is going to come up across the body. We're going to grab, and then you're going to push and pull. Perfect. And here we want to focus to make sure that the weight is 50-50. So you're going to have a tendency to want to lean in one way or the other, but we want to stay 50-50. Bring it back to the front. And everything comes in together. Awesome. Let's do a couple more of those. Might be getting kind of warm right now with all the chi that we're moving, okay? We're going to do one more to the opposite side. We're going to go ahead and sit on that right leg, stepping out with the left foot. Right hand is going to come up across the body, grab and push and pull. Wonderful. And bring it all back to the front. Absolutely fabulous. You look beautiful. I wish you could see yourselves. And in. Okay, from here, we're going to do a nice close because we always do. What did our moms teach us? Put it back where you found it, right? Okay, so one important thing to remember is all day we've been talking about that chi, and we have a little chi pot you can think about that resides 1 inch below the navel, the dandian. That's where we're using and circulating that energy from. But when we get done with those movements, we always want to put it back where it comes from. So when you see people do that close movement, that's what's happening. We're putting the energy back where we got it from. Okay, so from here, I want to open up those hips just a little bit. I like for everybody to go back to a shoulder width position. If you don't know what shoulder width and you find yourselves forget, always imagine you have 2 imaginary strings that go from your shoulders all the way down to the floor. That's where our feet want to be. In the event that you kind of get there and for whatever reason, it's kind of a wonky day and you feel like you need a little bit support, you can always make those feet a little bit wider. But we want to make sure that we're focused on good posture, because if we're not in the right posture, the chi or the energy is not moving. Okay, so from here, we are going to give a slight bend to the knee, and we are going to do a movement called hands of clouds. So in this movement, again, I'll demonstrate and then we'll do it together. So whatever hand or arm is on top, that's the direction that we're going to move or go in. And so here, this is my top hand. So I'm going to rotate, and we're imagining that we have a big ball, like a big beach ball. So we want to keep the hands same distance apart. And really, again, the waist is what makes this movement happen. So we're going to rotate. And then once I get to the point that my body says, okay, that's far enough, because we're paying attention. And then we're going to rotate the hands here. And then that's all the hands and the arms are doing here. Then we're going to rotate right back to center. And then we're going to rotate to the other side. And then hands will switch because we reached our point, and then back to the opposite side. Okay, so from here, again, applying that same principle as we are moving away from the body, that's going to be our exhale. And as we're coming back in or we're moving towards center, that's going to be our inhale. The reason, if you're not particularly sure, everyone knows that we have that energetic current. So the reason why we also do that breathing where we touch the tongue to the roof of the mouth is we want to complete that energetic circuit, connecting yin and yang. Okay, so from here, let's start off with, again, going to your right side. So your right hand is going to be on top, left hand is going to be on the bottom, and you can kind of do your check for yourself so that that right hand is going to be maybe about heart width, and then right where we talked about that energy or that chi bowl being or chi pot being, they're about 1 inch below the navel. Okay, and we have a nice bend in our knees, and we're going to rotate ourselves to the right, and hands will pivot or rotate. There you go. And now we're going to come back to center and rotate to the opposite side. So we want to focus on making this one continuous movement, and go ahead and switch once you get to the other side. And now we're going to rotate back to the right. We want to try to make this where if somebody else were watching us, there's no real, we can't really see where that movement ends and begins. Go ahead and rotate those hands. Good. And back to center and opening over to your left and rotate. So now we are going to be inhaling here. And you should begin your exhale here. Perfect. And we're going to rotate, and hands come back to center and inhale. Oh, everything dropped down. Did you all feel that? It got nice and quiet. That's beautiful. Good. Okay, I'm going to play with you all. You all are a great, great class, and we've got some more advanced people. So I'm going to play with you just a little bit. I want you to continue to move. And so as we move to your, this is going to be your left side. As we begin to go to your right side, I want you to, as we rotate, bring those feet together. Perfect. Continue your rotation. Good. We're going to stay here at center. Continue to rotate, hands rotate. And now as we go back to that right side, we're going to step out just with that foot. Same movement. Perfect. Now you're moving and doing this. Perfect. So now as we do come back to center, I want you to come and feet come together. Perfect. And we're going to rotate. And we'll stay static here just so that we have room to move to the other side. Once you make your rotation, we're going to come back. And as we're coming back, we're going to step and reach. Perfect. Wonderful. And rotate. Okay. And from here, feet will come back together as we're rotating to the other side. That's beautiful. I need to take you all on the road. This is good. We could do a really good class. They are. And one more. So we're going to do one more. Just we're going to stay stationary here. And one more rotation, coming back to center on that center line. And then we'll just drop the hands. And then we'll go ahead and close. Good. Wonderful. Okay, go ahead and shake that out. How's everybody feel? Good. Good. Okay. I want to do one other exercise with you. This one kind of helps it generates a lot of energy. We call it carry tiger to the mountain. So in this, I want everyone to pay very close attention to your bodies. This is not, no one needs to go overboard. Okay. As you sit, we're going to sit a little bit deeper, but I want you to focus on keeping your back straight. So it's not about how deeply you sit. It's about making sure that we maintain that posture. Okay, so I'll demonstrate. So the first thing we're gonna, usually if we're practicing this by ourselves, we're gonna hold a static posture, what we call hold the ball, right? This is kind of to generate or build some of the energy. It's a whole body tonification. So from here, once you can set your time, whether that's a minute, 5 minutes, or whatever your designated time is, right? And so once we decide to come out of that static posture, then hands will turn up. We're going to lift. Hands will come all the way up. They're going to open out nice and big. So we're trying to touch the walls. And then we're going to gather that energy up. This is the important part, keeping the back straight, nice and easy. So if your body says, this is it, that's it, then we're going to grasp and bring everything up. The hands will rotate over. And then we're going to reach and then wipe, almost like you're wiping yourself off. And then we'll shift and then we'll wipe. And then we'll come back to this same posture. And then we'll just repeat that action again, up and out, okay? All right, so how many of you, since we have some seasoned practitioners, why is that static posture so important? And what is something that we might want to keep in mind while we're doing that? Anybody? I'm an interactive teacher.
Just an idea is to know, first of all, where your body is in space.
Okay.
Yeah, the other one is creating that energy so that it's flowing naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And breathing and have your tongue just behind your teeth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, as we are doing this, when we build or cultivate something, our thoughts are extremely important. Right? So if we are maybe a little grumpy with ourselves and we go into that static posture, we're going to manifest or amplify what's going on up here. Right? So the goal or the idea is for us to be very intentional. So I want you to take just about 30 seconds. I'm going to give you about that amount of time, or 30 seconds. I want you to find one word that you feel like you need the most. That might be patience. That might be relaxation, courage, embrace, whatever your word is. I want you to picture that word. Okay. And then that is going to give us a focal point so that we have somewhere to put our attention. This static posture or stance, I really love because it's a life skill. It teaches you so much about yourself and how to be in place. So I think this is one of the best representations of how to overcome adversity, because your body's going to start saying all kinds of stuff. When you're in that position, it's like, oh my God, I'm dying. This is the most, why are we doing this? I don't want to stay here. I don't want to be here, right? And then sometimes you're going to feel it kind of tense up. And so you get to do a really good body scan. So we're not going to hold it long. But I do want you to experience that because this is also how we hold space for ourselves. Far too often, we don't know how to make time for ourselves or be in space with ourselves. And we don't know how to sit with ourselves. So sometimes we have emotions or things that come up when we get still. So we stay busy. I'm going to go over here and volunteer in this organization. And then I'm going to be in my church group. And then I have work. And then I have the kids. And then I have husband. All of those are great as long as we're putting a proper order and balance. Again, if you've been here over the couple of days, we have driven home balance, right? So I know I'm coming close to time, so I want to make sure that you have movement. Does everyone have their word? Raise your hand if you do. Fabulous. Okay. So from here, again, we're going to do shoulder width apart. You have those imaginary strings. We want to make sure that the shoulders are nice and relaxed. It's a funny thing, mind trick that happens when I say hold a static posture. Your brain is going to say, I'm holding something up. Even though you're holding this position, you're in place in this position, I want you to focus on being as relaxed as you possibly can. Okay. So from here, we're going to visualize our word. We have our word. Hands will be in a nice posture from here, and hands are going to come up. And then just like you're holding a nice ball, we don't want them to be too close and we don't want them to be too far away, right? Just right in between. Okay. And then remember to relax your thumbs. And from here, nice straight back. Good. Everybody's in position. Wonderful. I'm going to be quiet and let you kind of be in space. We're not going to hold this for very long. Feel free to close your eyes. Everybody take a nice deep breath. And exhale. And another deep breath. And exhale. Wonderful. And one more deep breath. And exhale. Wonderful. Now your body's starting to talk to you, even though I'm talking to you. That's part of the reason why I'm still talking, just to kind of distract you a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and move. Hands are going to turn, fingertips are going to go upward. We're going to raise the arms up, and then we're going to open out, nice, big, and wide. Perfect. Then hands are going to turn down. We're going to bend those knees only to the point of comfortability, keeping those back straight, gathering that energy or chi up, and hands will rotate or turn over, and then we're going to wipe up the sleeve, rotating the hips slightly out, and then we're going to wipe the other side. Again, slightly rotating those hips, and then we're going to come back to that static posture. Perfect. And then we're going to reach. This is our exhale. And this is our inhale. Again, keeping that back nice and straight. So now this time, make sure you switch your hands so that we got to keep it balanced. So same thing, just one hand will be on top of the other. And wide. Wonderful. And then we're going to go ahead and fold it and sit. Let's do one more. Fabulous. And open. And inhale. Perfect. And reach. And reach. And sit. Okay, we'll let that settle for just a little bit. And now hands will collapse in front of you. Let's shift our weight to your right side. And then we're going to close. Okay, everyone walk a small circle, just right where you are. Thank you so much for allowing me to be present with you today. It was an absolute pleasure for me. I hope that you enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to Audrey's presentation.
So now we're going to walk small circles back to our seats.